Class 6. In this chapter, I think this is the last video I am going to post for you. The chapter is separation of substances. Today the last topic I am going to discuss, that is about solubility. But before that, I just want to make you recall about my previous video. There I have told you various methods to separate the constituent of a mixture. So I have told you about in mixture when two components are present, how to separate them. But if more than two components are present in the mixture, whatever method you have learned, you can use more than one method to separate them. It is there in your book, but other than whatever is in your book, you can go through something else also. Suppose I am going to give you a mixture which contains sand, sugar and ammonium chloride and iron fillings. Iron fillings means small pieces of iron. You have to separate the four constituents. What are the process you will apply, that you should know. The mixture is containing sand, sugar, iron fillings and ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is the substance which can sublime easily. That means which can changes from solid state to vapor state without passing through the liquid state. How you will separate the constituent of a mixture? In the beginning, with the help of a magnet, you will separate the iron fillings, that is the small pieces of iron. Iron has the property of attracting towards a magnet. So by using a magnet, you can separate the iron filling. One component has separated. Now, whatever is left behind, you can go through the process of sublimation. That means heat the mixture in a closed container or in a container in which below the container may be made up of porcelain. Above that a glass funnel can be kept. At the top of the funnel you are supposed to use some cotton so that the air doesn't comes out. So due to sublimation, ammonium chloride will be converted into gaseous form and that gas will be go high up in the container. They will deposit at the top of the container. If you cool, then you will find that ammonium chloride crystals has been deposited at the top of the container, that you can separate. So by sublimation it is possible to separate ammonium chloride. Two components have been separated. Now we are going to left behind with sand and sugar. We have to add some water with the mixture. What will happen? The sugar will be dissolved in water, but sand will remain undissolved. Sand is not supposed to dissolve in the sugar. So you are going to get a solution in which sugar is present in the soluble form and sand is present in the insoluble form. What you have to do now? Now use filter paper to separate the sand from the sugar solution. Whatever you are going to get on the filter paper, dry the filter paper. After drying, the sand you can get back because water will be evaporated. Now the filtrate that is left behind contains sugar and water, that is sugar solution. Now you evaporate the sugar solution, water will change into gaseous form and sugar will be left behind in the container. So you have used multiple methods to separate various components from a mixture. So in this way, you may get a question to separate more than one component of a mixture by using various methods. In your book, one of that method is given, but it is not necessary that same method you will get in the question. You may get something else also. Now come to the main topic, that is solubility. Before solubility, you have to learn 2-3 terms, that is solute, solvent and solution. These are the terms that you have to learn. What do you mean by solute? The substance which is dissolved in solvent. What is solvent? The substance in which something is dissolved, that is called solvent. So I have written in bracket. That is called solute. The substance which is dissolved in solvent is called solute. Generally, the amount of solute is less in a solution as compared to solvent. Solution is made up of two components. One is solute, another one is solvent. Now, what is solvent? The substance in which something is dissolved, that is called solvent. The amount of the substance in solution is more of a solvent. Solvent is present more in amount as compared to solute. Solute is dissolving in solvent and solvent is allowing the solute to dissolve in it. So what is solution? It is a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent. Homogeneous means the composition is same throughout. That is, in the solution, composition of solute and solvent is same throughout. So it is known as homogeneous. Generally, water is known as universal solvent. This thing is there in your book. You have to learn it properly. What is the meaning of universal solvent and why water is called universal solvent? Most of the substances, solid, liquid, gaseous substances, they dissolve in water. That's why it is known as universal solvent. Maximum substances known to you dissolve in water properly, so water is known as universal solvent. Next is solubility. What is solubility? The maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent at any particular temperature, that is called solubility. So this definition is most important. This you have to learn properly. The maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent at any particular temperature, it is called solubility. Meaning of solubility: how much amount of solute can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent at a given temperature. Have you seen that what happens when you dissolve sugar in water? Is it possible that as much amount of sugar you are adding in water, all are going to dissolve? It can't be possible. You go on adding and stirring the sugar in water, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon, 3 teaspoon, in this way you increase. You will find a time when the sugar is unable to dissolve in the water. That means no more sugar can be dissolved in that particular amount of water. But you might have seen that the solubility is going to increase if you heat the water. That is by increasing the temperature. So by increasing the temperature, if solid solute is there, its solubility can be increased. If the solute is solid, then generally the solubility can be increased by increasing the temperature. Whether sugar or common salt or copper sulfate or any other solid, if you want to dissolve it in water at a particular temperature, it has a fixed solubility. If you increase the temperature, more amount of solute can be dissolved. So I have written this one. Generally, solubility of a solute, that is solid, increases with increase in the temperature. But on the other hand, generally gases dissolve lesser at higher temperature. Gas also can dissolve with water. This is in case of water. Actually, you are in junior class, so mainly the thing is based on water. Here the solubility is written for water only. But other than water, many solvent can be there. This fact is only for water, whatever is written here and in your book also. But in higher classes, you will learn about more solvent. In water, oxygen and carbon dioxide, they dissolve. That's why the aquatic plants and animals, they can survive in water. Aquatic animals, they need oxygen to survive. So from where they are getting the oxygen? The oxygen dissolve in water, they are taking that oxygen for survival. Similarly, the aquatic plants, they need carbon dioxide for doing photosynthesis. So that carbon dioxide is present, dissolved in water. So in case of gas, the solubility of gases decreases on increase in the temperature. One example is you might have seen the cold drinks present in your home. Generally in the cold drinks, that is soft drink, carbon dioxide is present, and due to the presence of carbon dioxide, when you open the bottle of a cold drinks, the bubbles comes out immediately. Bubbles comes out means in the dissolved form carbon dioxide comes out, liquid along with the gas. So if you keep the cold drink bottle outside the freeze for some time, when it becomes hot or when it is going to be adjusted with the room temperature, then if you open the bottle, in that time you will find that the bubbles are not forming in such a way as it was forming when it was cold. If the bottle is cold, then the formation of bubbles and fizzing out of the bubbles is more as compared to that if you open it at room temperature. The reason is, with the increase in the temperature, solubility of carbon dioxide has decreased. That's why the carbon dioxide along with the liquid is not coming out. So I hope I have completed the chapter by this video. This is the last video of this chapter. Please go through all the videos several times, otherwise you will be in loss, because it is not that I will give you questions only from the book. Whatever extra I am teaching through the video, you may get questions from that also, and from that I can understand that whether really you are going through the video, you are watching it or not. So thank you very much.